Hey coaches, I just wanted to show you our Skelter option because it's cool, it's fun. I don't know, it's new. It's a new way to run the option, and then I wrote a book over it. It's really cool, and I just wanted to show it to you. The basics of it. First thing I wanted to do is we're probably going to go against an odd here, an odd front, just to explain what the basics of the Skelter option are. And we see a lot of this odd front that utilizes outside backers a lot like defensive ends, and a lot of times when the strength is determined of the offense, a lot of these people are putting their strong safety over to the strength side when they run an odd front like this. And so we've seen this a lot. It's an excellent defense, and it's not the easiest nut to crack. It's hard to do some things against it. A lot of times if you're going to trap it, then you'll have to have an audible where you trap it to the right side or whatever. And they could actually set the strong side over here too. That's a possibility as well. But since we got this nasty slot going on that we call a Renegade slot, most of the time we found that most people will put their strong safety over there on the nasty slot side. They know there's a reason why we set up this little slot right here, and it's because we like to run to that direction. We also like to run some bunch play action stuff out of there as well. So a lot of times this is what you're going to see when you get an odd front, something similar to this. And the Skelter, the basics of the Skelter is that this halfback right here, he's actually going to, if he gets the ball, to run the outside option. And of course we're going to option, you know, this guy. We treat him a lot like a defensive end. A lot of times he plays like a defensive end anyway. So if the halfback gets the ball, then he's got the option to get outside and to pitch it. If this guy, if this rover or defensive end, whatever, if he goes, you know, outside, or if he doesn't seem like he wants to take him, then he will cut up and take off like a lot of people do on the option. In this nasty slot, this guy would be a lot like our fullback. Of course, this guy's only split about 5 to 7 yards, depending on defensive alignment, stuff of that sort. But the cool thing about the Skelter is that not only is he running the option, but this gives the quarterback opportunities to make pre-snap reads. If this tackle right here is shaded to the inside, then we would automatically run the Skelter to the outside. We're going to run the Skelter outside, give this guy the opportunity to make a play. If he's shaded this direction to the outside, then we're probably going to run the quarterback keep. The quarterback's going to keep the ball and run up inside, which you could do with base blocking. You could do with a lot of different things. But one of the funnest, the coolest concepts that we've seen is we like to double this nose and bring the guard around on the backer, folding to this guy here. When we do this, we've got to block this backside backer, so we do what we call an over and under block, which that simply means if he's going to try to scrape over the top, this guy's going to come off and pick him up. If he's going to try to blitz, then our center will pick him up immediately, or even if it's a delayed blitz, our center will come off and he'll get him. So if he tries to go over the top, we got him. If he tries to come under, we've got him. You might immediately say, well, what if the onside backer blitzes? And that does happen. If the onside backer blitzes, we're just going to pick him up right there and we will run the Skelter. We're not going to try to run up inside if that happens, but we ought to be able to run away from that blitz as long as we pick him up. And we're going to block this fella right here, this defensive tackle. We'll block this guy as well. And a lot of times right here we'll do a two-punch block and then a release upfield because we've got a really good play action pass to that backside off of that. It's going to keep this safety from getting up into our option business, scraping over there really quick as well. Plus we got play action this way, and you can always counter back to this direction. We got some awesome reverses off this play. They're all in the Skelter book. if you're interested. I think there's over 52 diagrams or something of that sort. We got all kinds of screens off this and run pass option off of this. So I mean, there's a lot of cool things you can do right here. And everybody has their different ways that they like to block stuff. We wouldn't run this every down, of course, but you know, this is a really good way to get the quarterback up in there, give him a good chance to make some good yardage, especially if you have a quarterback that you don't mind coming up inside. If you're going to run the Skelter, you're going to need a quarterback that doesn't mind taking it up in there. And a lot of times, you know, our quarterback, when we ran schemes like this, a lot of times our quarterback's a fullback type anyway who can throw the ball. Now right here, what we'd like to do, what we would normally like to do is bring this guy, our nasty split end, onto the strong safety. And that way, if he's up in there close, we can hook him up. If both of them are up in there, then we might just block them both right here and get the Skelter running wide. But that doesn't happen very often. A lot of times, this guy's coming, and we'll pitch off of him. Now, if he gets up into the action too fast, let's say he gets down in a sprinter stance and just comes flying to try to meet the Skelter right here, then we would actually block him first with the fullback. We would hit him. Most of the time, we're just going to get some wood on him or pop him, and then we're going to go to the corner because we want to pitch off that guy eventually anyway. If he's not an immediate threat, if he's not getting up into our chili really quick, then we'll let him go, and then we'll just go straight to the corner right there. Not a bad idea to come forward though one step, because we don't want to give away that the Skelter is coming, and you got time because you've got all this going on first. But the Skelter option attacks this outside area really quickly, and that's what's really cool about it. It gives you some easy pre-snap reads that you can make on defensive tackles, defensive guards if you're seeing an even front. Of course, you would want to run this differently with the even front. We call this formation rock because it's a Renegade, but it's also a broken diamond pistol set. We can run it with a tight end or without. We can split him out there. Anyway, it's a really fun concept to run. There's a lot of different things you can do with it, a lot of counters you can do with it. If you're interested, check out the book. You guys have a fantastic time. It's always fun talking football. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good.